Thank you. All right, so good evening, everyone. My name is Rohan Murthy. I want to just say I am not Narayan Murthy's son, in case anyone's wondering. I'm actually their son, and I'm not proud of that. The art of moderation is something that I have been sort of working on for quite some time. This actually takes me to a lot of work I've done with many PG students who are MBA graduates and those who are actually studying and pursuing different masters in communication. A very common element that I have actually found amongst my education work has been the fact that many of them are starting to feel an immense amount of pressure in today's world. Social media, peer pressure, modern society. We've all heard this, especially for a lot of us who grew up in the 90s and 2000s. But why is it so different in today's decade? Because you're hearing things that by 21 you should have accomplished X, Y, and Z. By 25 you should have had your own company. By 30 you should have actually done this. By 31 you should have accomplished that. It's not just about certain standards. It's not just as simple about the fact of how our cultural setup is, but more about the fact that unlike any other point in time right now, it's actually becoming even more of a problem for today's younger generation. The sense of trying to be holistic, trying to be people who are trying to accomplish a lot, is in fact leading to a major amount of burnout, stress, and in some cases, chronic depression. I want all of you for a moment to just think about something I'm about to ask you. I'm going to mention 4 shapes. I want each of you in your own mind to relate to which shape it is that you think fits you. And I will tell you exactly what the meaning of that is in just a second. Alright, so don't call it out. There are 4 shapes which are here. The first one is a square. Alright, first is a square. The second is a triangle. The third is a circle. And the fourth one is 4 lines that are going above each other like this, kind of like a wave design. So 4 lines. So that's a square, a circle, a triangle, and these 4 squiggly kind of lines. Now I want to ask all of you this, show of hands, and don't worry, there's no right or wrong in this. How many of you chose the square? No one. Alright, no problem there. I chose the square when I did this many years ago. How many of you chose the triangle? Okay. The triangle means people who have a lot of ambition and focus. So maybe this talk is not meant for you. Perhaps you guys are major achievers and know how to balance things.
What does the square mean?
The square refers to people who need security, who like to make sure they're well organized and have everything planned and well laid out. They don't like to have anything which has a question mark, which is a bit of a mystery. How many of you chose the circle? You guys are all-rounders, very good at many different things. Again, this talk is not for you. Sorry. But how many of you guys chose the 4 squiggly lines, 4 lines above each other? You guys are what are referred to as the romantics. Passionate people with a great desire to do a lot, and you pour your heart and soul into your work. What I want all of you to try and understand from this is that each of us have our roots in a certain space. But from that space, we can branch out and become a lot more. So there's a mindset, or a mindset that is divided, known as a growth mindset and a fixed mindset. A growth mindset is where you encourage everyone to try and give it their best, and they're able to finally achieve what it is they want. But a fixed mindset is closed. That it sort of feels that because I have this bit of talent, that's as far as I can go, that's my dominant space. Simple enough. But the thing is, where does all of this go so wrong for so many young people, and especially for people who are living in today's day and age, starting off their careers? The main thing is that while some of them do understand about a fixed mindset and a growth mindset, they're not able to fully understand what is it that that they really need to do in their own life. How is their own time running? What will their talents really be able to bring? And more importantly, how exactly can they sort of navigate their life going forward? So coming back to the pressure which I just spoke about, believe it or not, one of the biggest things I actually do on Facebook is to travel. And I think a lot of us have seen that, right? So a lot of us see the fact that people want to travel, people want to try and do hobbies, but that's all coming at a cost. People in their as early as their late 20s, people in their early 30s are suffering from heart attacks. Why is this? Because the amount of pressure that they're putting on themselves, either knowingly or unknowingly, is causing a huge detrimental effect. What is really needed, and what I have in fact encouraged students to do, is to try and pass their goals or their desires through 5 filters which are there. There's an important step here. One is that, and I quote the late Dr. Kalam on this, where he said that when you're finding that you're running out of time, don't reset the goals, reset your action steps. But I will add something else here. It's very, very important to also filter your goals and desires through 5 particular ways. The first is the physical part. How much does this really make sense? Being here in the present and the now is a very important factor. Because one of the key things you need to understand is that the way you can actually make a cause is right at this particular moment. But what really happens is that sometimes we're not utilizing our time the best way possible, either through how we're taking care of ourselves, how we're in fact interacting with others. That is going to cause a ripple effect later during the day or later during a certain period of life. So we need to fully understand and be present in the now. We need to really understand what is it that's going on within our own hearts and minds. The second part is the mental part. And that really refers to our ability to persevere. Very often we tell people, whether they're introverts or extroverts, that you need to sort of challenge the situations, you need to move forward the right way. But the problem over here is that how exactly they persevere is not exactly really defined to a lot of them. Believe it or not, many extroverts in fact find through a recent study that they in fact struggle a lot more with perseverance than introverts do. And the reason they actually found, certain psychologists found that, was because they actually discovered that with introverts, they were able to recharge themselves by themselves, so really introspect even more about what is it that they needed to do. Whereas extroverts always felt the need to be surrounded by people who felt that they needed to get moving as quickly as possible. So it is very, very important for you to understand, even with those around you, how can you help them in the right way? How can you help them understand how can they persevere when they encounter a certain obstacle or challenge? The third filter is to do with emotion. And that really starts to get into one's own attitude. You can have talent, you can have skill, you can have drive. But if your attitude has a problem where you are not able to fully accept the fact that maybe this isn't for you, maybe for a simple fact that, by you doing this, it's not going to change your societal standing. It's not going to make you more popular. It's not going to allow you to really change the way in which you want to, and rather try and introspect even further. But what is it that you really can try that is going to allow you to really get the things you want? Because one thing is important. Success and happiness are tailor-made. It's not a one-size-fits-all approach. You have to fully understand what is it that really makes you happy. What is it that you really want to do? Knowing yourself is where you get to form the right attitude about how you work with yourself moving forward. The fourth part is the spiritual part. Now, a lot of things in studies is that they've said that balance has become a huge buzzword. Balance in terms of your life, your professional life, your personal life. But the key thing is that how do you do that? A lot of young folks who in fact come to me after they've graduated say that we really don't know how it is that we're supposed to balance things and so on. And some of them even say that the usual thing which we hear is to try and talk to the HR team, or to in fact sometimes take up yoga. And sometimes yoga is seen as a one-size-fits-all approach, like yoga will cure everything. And I'm not trying to look down on yoga, but what I'm trying to say is that when you are essentially trying to find outlets, which could be yoga, meditation, and so on, it's very, very important to understand how does this make you sort of grow as a person. So if physical refers to the actual tree you see, emotion refers to the flowers and fruits that grow on that tree, and mental refers to the actual fact of how that tree is growing on the inside, spirituality is the soil from which all of that grows from. So finding the right kind of spiritual practice is a very important thing. It's very, very important to try and understand how does that really fit into your own way of life. Now, I'm not trying to say that for those who are atheists and so on, that this is something you should adopt, but it is something where you find your own truth, something that helps to bring some more enlightenment for you. Where this all finally culminates is into the fifth filter, which is wisdom. Now, again, another famous buzzword that is doing the rounds. But what is wisdom really? Where does wisdom really come from? it essentially comes from three specific areas. One is, where are you right now? What time is it, and where it is that you are taking your particular action and the way in which you're actually moving forward. And what are you essentially? You are a culmination right now of many different moments that have led up to this point. But through observing things and observing what it is that you did right and you didn't do right, but more importantly, observing what it is that's gone on in your environment, that is what helps to really channelize and bring forward the wisdom in the right way. Now you might say that, well, that again is a vague term. But one thing which I find to be with my students is that wisdom does not come simply by sitting down and meditate and so on. Wisdom essentially comes that once you've applied these 4 different filters to your life, essentially reflecting on the fact of, what is it that you are feeling at this present moment right now? And really reflecting on the fact of that, where it is that you want to go? I want to conclude by quoting Matthew McConaughey, where he said in his Oscar speech that when he was asked, who's your hero? He finally said, it's me 10 years from now. So when that person asked him again, 10 years later, who's your hero? He said, oh, it's me 10 years from now. He said, the reason why I said that is because I realized that being able to moderate, to balance my life, being able to do many different things did not come from, pursuing and chasing different goals. It came from me building a very holistic and strong relationship with myself across these 4 areas. And more importantly, embracing the fact that from deep within, that is where that wisdom comes, which directs me in terms of how I can move forward the right way. And in his case, as we saw, he was able to revive his career. In the same way as I've taught different students the same kind of methods, I have seen many of them who have struggled, faced health issues, be able to flip and transform their lives in the same manner. What's very essential is to understand that moderation isn't just about doing a few things at a time, but it is about finding the right way in which it makes sense for your life and how it's going to enrich yourself to move forward. So with that, that is my time, and I thank you very much.